Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm videodiary. I should see what's going on a lovely island of Fawnhollow today, and a happy Chinese New Year to you all, or happy Lunar New Year. Well, you know, because you might not be Chinese, I suppose, which, you know, fair enough. Or 新年快乐, 虎年快乐, all those sort of things. Good greetings all around. Even if you don't celebrate it, you're cordially invited by me to celebrate it in whatever way you see fit, I suppose. So today is Chinese New Year. I talked a bit about this yesterday, how the fact it was like, the celebrations feel a bit strange because normally we celebrate it kind of in time with when it turns over to Chinese New Year in China, but whatever. And this first actually got a thing. Hello everyone, today is the start of a Lunar New Year. I wish you all good fortune and happiness. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 3:12 PM on Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. Gix is here. So yeah, the year of the tiger has begun. For all you tigers out there, people who I guess would be turning 12, 24, or any multiple of 12 this year, congratulations to y'all, I suppose. I don't know what element it is, but it's probably not the golden tiger. But yeah, hopefully, you know, it's a wild old time, you know, done a bit of celebrations here and there. Of course, Chinese New Year, rather big thing in China. It is also, of course, the 1st of February, which means new stuff coming around, I suppose. Apollo giving us something, and Mum giving us blow on icy hand. Sometimes that doesn't work. I'm pretty sure that's the same thing as last time. So yeah, I suppose last year I probably talked more about Chinese New Year and that sort of thing. I know some stuff about Chinese New Year. I think it'd be remiss of me to say that I'm like an expert in anything about in Chinese history or culture, etc., etc. And despite being Chinese, it's more like I have understanding of a lot of things. And you know, Chinese New Year, of course, the most notable thing is the great. Actually, I'm not sure what it's called. might just be called the Great Race or whatever, which determined the 12 animals that took part in that make up the Chinese zodiac calendar. Of course, if you don't know the story, I'll regale it to you in so many words. I don't remember it perfectly off the top of my head, but basically, some guy was just like, hey, you know, we need a new calendar system or something, and when for some reason, all the animals were going to race together to determine which 12 animals were going to be part of the thing. But different recounts have different like sort of stories. I don't really remember them entirely. I think like the first one that we had like 3 parts. We had to like run through a field. I can't remember what the second part was, but the third part, which is, you know, the more notable part, which people always talk about, is the fact that they had to cross a raging river, a raging rapid river, whatever. And the most notable part of the story is the rat being a very tiny sort of creature was like, it's going to be quite difficult for me to get across the river. I can't swim. It's very deep and that sort of thing, and I'm too small, but I can't hop along the rocks very well. Hello, Pecan. I hear that. I didn't realise there was new verse dialogue for that. I hear that today's a Lunar New Year. I suppose that means we get to celebrate the New Year again. Exactly. Well, Chipmunk, I think that's wonderful. You know me, I love any excuse to dress up. I'm sure you look fantastic, Pecan, in what do we call it, a cheap owl. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, Rowan, we should actually talk to you because it's the Year of a Tiger. Why not? But we're giving Pecan fossils to actually win her over, slowly but surely build up that friendship points. I guess we'll get back to we need to actually talk to everyone. Huh? It's Mountain. How are you doing? We haven't caught up lately, Based. Saw you around the other day. You had quite a spring in your step. Have you been skipping leg day? Happy Lunar New Year. You pumped? You look pumped. And I know I'm pumped, Based. Based, Ryan. Hope you have a good old Year of a Tiger. Perhaps that's what you two are celebrating right now. I didn't realise. We need to talk to all our villagers. Because apparently they all got dialogue. I wonder if Isabel's got dialogue if we actually speak to him in Town Hall. I'm not really sure. We haven't checked in with him for a while. You are waiting for a fish. So I want to see if you have new dialogue, but I believe if we run into you often enough, you'll start moving or something. Maybe not when you're fishing. Oh, okay. Maybe we'll come back to talk to Vivian later. Hello, Biscuit. Everybody's all smiley because of a Lunar New Year. I'm always smiley, so today I'm extra smiley. Aww. Yeah. Oh, hello, Phoebe. Sorry to disturb you. Talk about Lunar New Year with me, please. Lunar New Year or plain old New Year? I'm all in. Just thinking about them puts me on cloud 9. Aww. Amelia's back, but apparently everyone's in town square. So the rat wants to get across, but they are finding difficulty. So the rat, being a little crafty little fellow who he is, talks to the hard-working and, you know, pleasant ox or whatever, or maybe it was a stubborn ox. I can't really remember. And the rat being like, "Hey, if you walk across, can I hitch a ride on your back? And then when it comes to the end, I'll let you cross the line first." And then the ox, you know, very trustworthy, very hard-working, very loyal, or maybe not loyal, but hardworking, and there's no reason to really doubt the rat. It's like, sure. Now the ox like easily plows through the river, you know, and the rapids show no sort of Apparently you don't talk about Lunar New Year, that's a shame. So no sort of resistance to it. And he easily gets across to the other side, but then the crafty little rat, you know, once the ox gets to the other side, hops off the ox's back and runs across the finishing line first, securing first place, while the ox following shortly behind at second. Now, the ox doesn't actually really care all that much because he ain't that competitive or something, but my goodness, but I'm in such a festive mood, and it's all because of today is Lunar New Year. I should be able to share the celebratory feeling with everyone. You should too, dearie. I will. Then the ox crosses. And then you'd be like, hey, who came next and thing? And that's why I need to think about, oh yeah, the tiger comes across in third place. Not quite as strong as the ox, but also has a fiercely competitive spirit, which meant that she swam across the river, you know, but, you know, didn't particularly like the water. And thus it was a little bit slower, but, you know, I think the tiger was like a favourite to win. Oh, no, the dragon was a favourite to win. The fourth animal who crossed, I believe, was the little rabbit, who, instead of actually trying to swim through the river, found a nice set of skipping stones, or stepping stones, to hop along daintily across. And since rabbit, she's very good at sort of like dancing across the stones and being very agile and nimble, very easily makes it across, despite her much smaller stature compared to the other animals. And fifth, I think it's a dragon next, if I recall. This perhaps should be something I know definitely by the top of my head, but I get a bit muddled in the middle. The dragon comes next, and she was actually the favourite to win, you know, being able to fly and all that. But the reason she only crossed over fifth is because she saw like a town on fire or something and stopped to help extinguish all the flames and save the town from utter peril before resuming a race. But still, you know, she was never particularly worried that she wouldn't secure a place due to a distinct flying advantage. And you might say here, hey, can't like lots of birds fly? I don't know. I guess why. I guess they weren't part of a race. I don't really know how it works. Don't look too much into the Chinese sort of mythos of all of this. Let's sell these flowers and then let's head on over to Halves Island, I think. In sixth place, I think. Oh, it was going to be for horses. The horse was coming up. You know, similar to the cow, but perhaps a little bit less strong, you know, ploughing through the river and that sort of thing, you know, due to his tall stature, and was about to cross until the snake startled him. The snake slimily slithering underneath the horse's legs, shocking him, and the snake, getting into sixth place. We should buy that festival drawing as well, because we haven't seen a pink variation. Apparently we have different colour variations here. That's pretty wild. I mean, no, wait, we should have a pink one. Wait a minute. Because these you can customise using feathers. And I mean, we'll buy it anyway. Let's not think about it too much. So that was 6th and 7th. No, wait, hold on. 6th and 7th. Okay, snake, horseman. 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10. It was the monkey, the sheep, and the rooster all coming across. Look who it is, Fabu. Nice to see you here, Rainy. What's the latest? You're not going to talk about Lunar New Year? Alright, I guess you don't have special dialogue inside here, which is fair enough. So 8, 9, and 10 was the monkey, the ram, and rooster all crossing because they were 3 good friends or something who built like a raft together to sail across the river. And then once they reach a finish line, they decided the sheep should go first for being the most harmonious, followed by the rooster, then the monkey. I always forget which order those two come in. Hold on. Lunar, wait, Chinese zodiac. And then in 11th place came the dog, who, you know, was a very strong swimmer and was also quite a favourite to win and race, but spent a lot of time just sort of playing and frolicking about in the river before finally remembering to cross over. I mean, it's something like, I don't remember why the pig was last. I think the pig came last because he stopped to like eat some snacks and then fell asleep by a tree or something. I forget exactly. Oh, it goes goat, monkey, rooster. Sorry, not goat, rooster, monkey. Goat, monkey, rooster, alphabetical order, if you ever want to remember that. And there you go. And that's the 12 zodiac came to be. But there's also like other stories in zodiac, because there's a story that there was like a cat as well, and the rat betrayed the cat, which is why cats always hate rats. It's something like the rat told the cat the day the race day was the day after, rather than the actual day, so then the cat missed it. There's another one where the cat and the rat were both riding on the ox's back to the finish line, but then the rat pushed the cat in because for some reason I can't really recall. I don't know if the cat or the rat's meant to be the hero or the a villain, or maybe they're just, you know, both people at each other's throats or whatever. And then, you know, it's kind of a sad experience, I suppose, for the cat to be done in like that, and I suppose be completely missed out from the calendar system, I suppose, that they'll be adopting for quite a few years, shall we say. But it's a very interesting story, I suppose. And The only thing I wonder about it is like, what is the point of a rat pushing, like, you know, maybe it's my bias as an ox. What is the point of a rat like stealing first place on the ox? What, first place doesn't actually do anything. Anyway, so I suppose it's for the glory of saying you came first in the race, but it's not like the order particularly matters, and it just matters that you get into the top 12, right? Because once you get into the top 12, that means you are part of the calendar system now, I suppose, from now on, rather than anything else. So I don't know why the rat particularly felt the need to steal first place, but maybe this just sort of, because I'm an ox, you know, and then the ox is also rather unperturbed in the story. That's a similar sort of thing. Anyway, there's a lot of different sort of stories and retellings, I believe, of this rather well-known and popular story, but that's kind of a one I know, and I don't really have much more to add to it. I don't remember who the person was who actually set off the race story. Like, I used to know, certainly, but I don't recall the details anymore of the story, so that's unfortunately all you get. But anyway, today being Chinese New Year, or kind of yesterday, I suppose, you know, what sort of things do you do on Chinese New Year? There's a thing, like, for the two, oh, sorry, I should say, these are, like, Chinese traditions, mainland Chinese traditions, probably maybe Beijing influence, because that's kind of where my parents are from. I'm sure different areas probably have different things. I'm sure they do things differently in like Hong Kong, Japan and Korea. I'm sure have their own sort of different Lunar New Year celebrations, but I don't really know what they are. So I apologise, I can only really retell my sort of knowledge about it. But yeah, there's meant to be like for the 2 weeks leading up to Chinese New Year, we're meant to do things. You're meant to do a different thing each day. Some traditional thing, I don't know, I don't really do it. One of the days you're meant to eat dumplings, I think, and one of the days you're meant to do some cleaning, which are the only ones we do as our family does, or partakes in, or has partaken in. I don't really remember the others, but you're meant to eat certain things. Like niangao, which is a sticky sort of rice-esque cake. I don't actually know what it is. Hold on. This is where you go to Google, and Google will tell you exactly what it is. Niangao. Also, why do I have so many random instances open? Niangao is often year cake or New Year cake. Nian being year and gao. Oh, Nian Go in Cantonese. Ning Go in Cantonese, there you go. You might, but maybe is how you know it, because I know a lot of Chinese food goes by the Cantonese name in the West. Chinese New Year cake made from glutinous rice flour and consumed in Chinese cuisine. It's just like a rice cake. And it's, but not like a rice cracker sort of cake, not like the crispy rice cake. It's very sticky. It's kind of more like a sticky rice pudding, I suppose. Yeah, and you often put stuff in it, like nuts and other things, you know, red bean paste. I'm trying to think of other things. Yeah, and you can't eat with a lot of Chinese festivals. I'll be perfectly honest, I don't really know the history behind it. How is it? It's okay, you know, it's not like my favourite thing in the world, but it's not bad. What else do you do in Chinese New Year? Oh, here we go, festivities and Wiki. Chinese New Year's Eve, as 1st to 15th days, I'm going to do things. We don't do any of that, I'll be perfectly honest. Oh, does it say what the element is? Preceding days, first day. Spring fest. Oh god, I don't know this. Whoa! Look at all this traditional food. Hey, it's a snowing day. A snowy island. Maybe this is a normal island. I honestly don't know. Hold on, what are our missions? We probably should have a look at. Oh, daily exercise, horse mackerel, sell fruit. We should have sold the fruit. Capture a memory. Let's take a picture of Captain, because I don't think we've done that yet. Pacha. Wait, can we actually take... Let's take a handheld camera. Wait, what? You can't turn around? With a camera? You can only face in one direction? I actually had no idea about that, the handheld camera. Anyway, so Niangao. What else are you meant to eat? You're also meant to eat oranges, because something about the roundness is meant to be luck or something. I don't really know if that's at least what I was told when I was younger, but whether that's actually true or not, I don't particularly know. A frozen fence. Frozen? Wait, we actually have a frozen... There's actually a frozen fence? But we've just been using the frozen walls. Oh yeah, there is a frozen fence, of course, we've seen it before. Rosebed. 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 You're meant to eat fish, like, on New Year's Eve, and then keep it, keep some as a leftover to eat the next day as well, because that's the Nian Nian You Yu, which means it's a sort of Chinese pun, because I don't know, apparently everything in China's based off a pun. Nian Nian You Yu is like year on year you have fish, or year on year you have like good luck, I suppose. Noodles, I guess, are traditional. Noodles are always traditional. I'm gonna be honest. And if you celebrate a Chinese holiday, just like eat noodles. It's probably tradition somewhere. Let me think. What else is on this list? But there's delight. I have no idea what that is. Chicken, apples, here we go, fish. Oh, sorry. The pronunciation of fish makes it homophone for surpluses. I thought it was fortune. Sorry, it's surplus. So year on year you'll have all you need. Apparently garlic is one of them. Jiao gok, I don't know what it is. Yo jiao. Oh, maybe it's a Cantonese thing. Jiaozi. Just, you know, dumplings. Oh, northern China, makes sense. You know, Beijing thing. Mandarin oranges, yep. Melon seeds, I don't know this one. We just always eat those, to be honest. Niangao, noodles, sweets, tanguo. I don't know what those are. Rogan. I don't know what that is. Yu Tao Gao. Taro cake? Turnip cake? Oh, by the way, turnip cake is delicious. I didn't know it was a traditional thing to eat in Chinese New Year, I'll be honest. Lava porridge, that is true as well. It's just like a mix of like, you just put like a load of things and nuts or something into a sort of porridge. Is it that tasty? It's not really all that tasty, I'll be perfectly honest, but not all traditional foods aren't necessarily. It's more of a tradition that you eat them with, which is the important part. Well, not eat them with, it's more like because it's traditional, I suppose you eat it. Stuff with something smells delicious, probably full of sugar. That is absolutely biscuits, so give that to him. Of course, you've got red envelopes. Normally it's like married people give it to non-married people. I suppose I'm not married, so technically I should receive them, but you know, I'm also a bit old to really receive them. The kind of thing you stop really getting around adult age, I suppose. You know, not so that you couldn't, but I suppose it's not expected. Yeah, Chinese greetings, Gong Xi Fa Cai. You probably heard about. I can't remember what it is in Cantonese. But this always reminds me of a story because our primary school was actually pretty good about it. For some reason, they wanted to celebrate like Chinese New Year. I don't really know why, because I wasn't even that many Chinese people, I suppose, in that school. It was literally me, and I think me and my sister, I think. But like our parents came in to teach people about Chinese New Year and that sort of thing. I was quite young, so I don't really remember. But I remember one of the times I was like outside of lunch hall. I don't remember why I was there, because I had already eaten lunch and I was like playing around with like one of the displays or something. And then a reception teacher, she was very sweet, by the way. I don't know if I was in year 1 or aka the year above reception. Your reception is kind of like kindergarten. Or if I was in reception or not. But then she came up to me and said Gong Xi Fa Cai, but I'm pretty sure she said it in Cantonese because I didn't understand it. I didn't even know what Cantonese was, because bear in mind I was like 4. I don't have a very good concept of what other languages even are. They just kind of exist. It's all under the umbrella term of Chinese, I suppose, to me. We're not going to talk to you, Apollo, because you're probably going to ask to move out, and we don't want that. So it was very confusing, so I just sort of stared at her, and then I was like, oh yeah, and I so sure. Just nodded. I feel really bad about it. Well, I don't really feel really bad about it. I'm like a 4-year-old. She teaches 4-year-olds for a living. She kind of, I'm sure she probably expects, you know, a certain children not really understanding what's going on. But I think that's, I'd be like, that's a really sweet gesture, you know, trying to learn about Chinese culture and that sort of thing, and you know, embracing it, understanding it. And then she came up to me and tried to say a sort of Chinese greeting. You know, hold on. This is where I look and see what it is in Cantonese. Hold on, because I don't actually know. Gong Xi Fa Cai Cantonese. If you don't know, Cantonese is what they speak in Hong Kong. Kong Hei Fat Choi. That's it, apparently. I have no idea what pronunciation is on that, by the way, because I can't speak Cantonese. I thought that was very sweet thing for her to do. There's other things. I remember my mum came in to teach about like Chinese writing, and then she had like these example things and being like, oh, you can write it either vertically or horizontally. That's what's different about Chinese. I remember like one point I was teaching, when I was in reception with that same reception teacher, I was teaching, and I taught some like the other reception knows, I suppose, about Chinese. I don't remember why, but it was because the teacher wrote owl on the board, OW. I think it was like they were breaking down word spellings, and I was like, hey, if you put that backwards, it's like me in Chinese. And she was like, oh really? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, because me in Chinese is what. And then she invited me up to write it on the board, and then I suppose I did a very basic sort of Chinese lesson in a reception. Must have been very strange, but you know, I guess you can't really plan all that much when you are teaching reception age classes, things just kind of go off the wall pretty readily. I don't know. My dad's a pretty good cook when it comes to Chinese food. I think he brought in some food to primary school. I think he brought some like spring rolls. I don't know, and I was talking about it with him recently. He brought in like spring rolls, prawn crackers, and something else. And I don't really remember. Maybe like fried noodles or something. Apparently, you know, everyone really enjoyed it. And that, you know, that's what it should always be about. We should do that with more cultures, you know. Just like that, you know. Get opportunities to share them, you know. Whenever significant holidays come around in other people's cultures, and see it as a good opportunity. And I'm sure no better time to actually teach kids about that sort of thing when they're particularly quite young and those sort of memories are starting to form. You know, get them understanding about that sort of thing. But, you know, I suppose that's kind of like a tall order to... Today's the start of another lunar new year. Do you think the moon makes resolutions each new year? Not that I'm aware of. I suppose it's a bit of a tall order because you have to have parents who are willing to come in, I suppose, and, you know, to come in to actually teach a load of kids about it and then, you know, actually do quite a lot of extra stuff about it, to be perfectly honest. I suppose the situation becomes easier if you have multiple people from that culture being able to share their own experiences with it, even though the experiences might be different, of course, but still, it's sort of like a collaborative effort. Anyway, I'm trying to think in secondary school Chinese New Year was ever really celebrated. I don't think so. I'm really trying to rack my brain, because I can only really remember it happening in primary school. I guess that's kind of enlightening, if anything, now I think about it, because there was definitely more Chinese people in my secondary school than there was in primary school. I guess it was quite nice about primary school. Anyway, that primary school's apparently gone like pretty downhill now. All of the teachers have changed. I don't know who any of the teachers are. And also that was like 20 years ago, so quite a while. Don't really expect things to be all the same anymore. But there we go. Audie has to be the one crafting, because literally we've seen everyone else have been inside the house now. Oh, sorry, that was quite loud. So yeah, I hope you all have a nice shiny tea. Oh, I forgot, I need to make a thumbnail art for this one. I'll make it kind of simple. I'll be honest, a lot of the thumbnail arts just kind of get simple. I just reuse the New Year one. Happy New Year. I'm glad I got to celebrate it with you. Why did I just leave? I didn't even ask Audie what she was crafting. Get back in, Bammy. Did we... Was that a Nook shopping thing? Did we buy the special Nook shopping item? What the heck? Lucky red envelope, Lunar New Year. That was here. Chocolate heart. Setting bottle. Yeah, okay. This stuff was all here. We don't need to particularly be worried about that sort of thing. I know, it's a sort of grand old time. I really can't remember celebrating it in secondary school. Yeah, I only remember primary school. I even remember in one of the assemblies, because normally, you know, as a lot of schools are in UK, they tend to be much more Christian based on that sort of things, which often means you have like these sort of stories in assembly times, you know, trying to teach some sort of moral teachings. Sometimes they're written, sometimes they're like whatever like the religious stories called, and sometimes they're not. But I remember this time it was in one of the teachers told a story from like the perspective of a Chinese child or something, a Chinese student in school or whatever, and because it was Chinese New Year, and it was like the story behind that. And I remember it had like Chinese words in it, and like part way through the story she would say the word, and then she would like just check with me, is that how you say this Chinese word? And I'd be like, yeah. And I remember the first one she did completely caught me off guard. She said it was like 2 days ago, and she was like, Tian. And then she was like, is that how you say it? And I was just like, what? I don't even know what you're saying. But then like I understood what was happening. I don't know, Tian's Liang Tian, Tian. I don't know which I said. I've already seen Liang Tian rather than Tian. But anyway, I can't really recall. But that was quite a nice memory. I suppose of that sort of thing. You know, but obviously not listening right now, but shout out to my old primary school teachers for incorporating Chinese New Year and that sort of thing into the teachings at school. I'm sure it made a memorable situation, not only for me, but hopefully a lot of the other students at the time. Anyway, we don't talk about our old primary school anymore. No. Okay, that was a bit of a stretch to try and fit that in. We don't talk about Bruno, I'll be perfectly honest. But yeah, what was I going to say about that? Yeah, honestly, it was pretty cool. I wish I remembered more about it so I could really comment more things, being like, oh, you know, this happened, or this happened, or this happened, and it was all cool stuff. But it was just like, yeah, no, it was just a nice old experience, I suppose. I'm trying to remember more. I'm trying to remember more about like the eating food because I sort of vaguely remember it, but also don't. Also, people love prawn crackers and spring rolls and that sort of thing. I'll say prawn crackers are not actually. I don't know why people love prawn crackers so much. I guess I kind of like crisps, and especially when you're a child, eating something familiar is quite nice. And that sort of thing. I think prawn crackers are kind of lame. I'm saying it as it is. They're not that great. And people also love spring rolls. Spring rolls are okay, you know. That one is more like I can see why people like them certainly a lot more. They were just never really much of my favourite. Like, I always like fried noodles, I suppose, that sort of thing. Chow mein, as you might know it. Or chow mein, as I know it. Oh, hello. Spin your arms, spin your arms. I have memories now of being like in primary school. Because, bless these kids out. They are like children after all. Just coming up to me being like, hey, dear. I know it was Chinese New Year yesterday, so we had Chinese takeout or something like that. Or like we had spring rolls or something like that. You know, back then I didn't really understand it. And then I'm sure maybe in my teenage years I'd be like, that's kind of weird. But now as an adult thinking back to it, I'm like, you know, cool, I suppose. Everyone, you know, I think everyone could be cordially invited to invite Chinese New Year. You don't need to be Chinese or even Asian to celebrate it, in my mind. It reminds me of this like tweet. Of being like, someone just being like, remind if you're not Chinese, you're not allowed to celebrate Chinese New Year unless you've been invited by someone who is Chinese or whatever. And then the top reply is just some Chinese person being like, I cordially invite everyone to celebrate Chinese New Year with us this year. Hey, this is my standard. I cordially invite everyone to celebrate Chinese New Year with me, I suppose. It's festivities all around. The more people, the merrier, I saying that sort of thing. Oh yeah, and I didn't talk about like firecrackers and fireworks that often happen during Chinese New Year. I don't actually know if there were any last night. There's not actually too many Chinese people in the area I live, so there probably wasn't. But yeah, you're meant to like ward evil spirits away or something. And apparently, evil spirits for some reason really don't like loud noises and that sort of thing. Which, you know, mood, I guess. So you use the fireworks to sort of ward off all what's going on, being like, hey, you know, get out of here, evil spirits. I don't really know what they do. I guess be evil, which, you know, kind of raises moral questions if that's kind of what they're created to do. It's a bit like, I suppose they don't really have much to say in the matter, do they? Let us we'll customize these two tools, and then I think we'll end off this episode here. Yeah, that's, I don't know, Chinese New Year, I suppose. Gonna have to edit today, but a thing like that. I also, you know what I need to do? I need to actually finish drawing a Death Door fan like that. I've left it for ages because I was also doing like some other artwork which I wanted to get done, which I actually wanted to get done for today, but I didn't get it done for today, so you know, whatever. But I need to finish the Death Door thing. It's actually very nearly done. The only thing I need to do is shade D on the front, and then everything else will be done and done. What else should I customize? I don't know. Why have I not customized for a while? Starnet? Maybe? Honestly don't recall. There we go. And then we're done. So yeah, happy Chinese New Year to all. 新年快乐，恭喜发财. May your year be prosperous, and shout out to all those of you who are born in the year of the tiger. This is your year, the year of the ox. It's over. I hand over the crown, well, not really a crown, I suppose, the jade bracelet or whatever to you, and I hope you all enjoy it. And I don't know, celebrate it as you see fit. Have some dumplings, have some Chinese food. I don't really mind. Chinese takeaway, good enough for me. Have an orange, if you can. Anyway, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join my Dear Darling Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. Hope we see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, 新年快乐. Bye bye for now.